Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is a streaming segment that I did for my stream that I did on Monday, January 18th, I believe, is when I did it. Yeah, January, it was either 18th or 19th, one of those two. Anyways, so from now on, I'm going to be doing some streams. I'm going to try to do at least one stream once a week. This week, I haven't done a stream because I got really sick, and I think the day I upload this video, I might be doing a stream. Really depends. But this streaming segment is going to be called like Shonen Weekly or some shit like that. I'm just going to be basically going over like Shonen Jump chapter, like Shonen manga chapters that have come out that I really want to look into. This one's is just going to go over One Piece, Chainsaw Man, and JJKM Modulo. So that's pretty much it. I just read the chapter, give my thoughts, give any ideas, and that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about it. This format, it's a lot of it. It's not super edited. I just kind of edit out a lot of dead air, so a lot of it is kind of raw. It's just me thinking. I did add some music in the background because I feel like it'd be nice to have some music in the background. But there's not a really a whole lot of editing. So let me know what you guys think. Should I just split up the chapters into their own videos? Should I just leave it how it is? Let me know what you guys think. Like, is there a better way to I should do this? Format it. By all means, let me know. And yeah, that's it. You enjoy the video.
Today we're going to be covering over One Piece, Chainsaw Man, and JJK, and we're going to be covering both of these, or all three of these, and then yeah, let's get started. So One Piece just released their chapter, just yesterday actually, January 18th, 2026, chapter 1171 or chapter 1171. So let's get started. So the chapter starts with chapter titled Ragnar, and it starts with it's a reader's request. It's Zoro being given a cat ear headband by a cat. It's requested by Uro Nekoko. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, by all means, I'm sorry. I will say there are some indications. I hear this a lot from the fandom actually, that the translations from that Toei provides for the One Piece is actually pretty horrible. So, by all means, we could be reading like mistranslated stuff, and we don't even know it, or I don't even know it. Chapter begins continuing to flashback. I had a terrible vision, as plain as day, said, of Harold venturing forth from this castle and laying waste to the world until it was nothing but ruins. It's hard to imagine the way his wounds healed themselves. That there was actually a means to stop him. Does the treasure of Elbaf really have such power? Jarud? Not that I have heard, but it chills my spine to think of what might have happened had Loki not been there. Once I am in the Knights of God, dawn will come to Elbaf. Speak your desire, and whatever it is, you shall have it. You've been so deprived, my poor son. Is Shanks speaking to his father? Speak your desire, whatever it is, you shall have it. You've been so deprived, my poor son. Those miserable peons are not people, and forget what happened in the lower world. Shanks, hey Shanks. No, stop. That's your bad habit again. Don't you dare regret your birth. But why did Harold have to die? He was too pure-hearted to deserve that. If only I'd. It's not your fault and you know it. You still have a role to play, Shanks, I guarantee you. Everyone's life has a meaning, but you have to keep a level head. This is what he gets for loving his country? It's a cruel joke. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Loki's just surrounded by flames too. That was exceedingly rare ancient giant warrior, giving even greater power in an immortal body. That was nothing short of a monster. And thou sayest it was killed? By whom? What is in Elbaf? We shall have it investigated. Harold's abyss in the Elbaf remains intact. Enough. It will only be the death of more knights. Performing the covenant inflicts a cost upon Mu as well. I think that's supposed to say Emu as well. That Harold chose to debase himself before humankind to connect his country to other lands and peoples. This made him a heretic. His are a tribe of warriors whose every drop of blood calls out for battle. Carelessly incorporating them into the government will lead to internal collapse. An ancient giant king of Elbaf who agrees to the covenant is a gift to Unu of the likes of which shall not be seen again. He was a king that Elbaf never should have had, and see what came of it. History does not like our kinds are incomplete. Okay. History does not lie. Our kinds are incompatible. Never forget that Elbaf is D. Elbaf is D. What does that mean? Like it's a land, or it's like has something to do with the will of D? Is D. What does it even mean by D? And you see what he was a king that Elbaf never should have had, and see what came of it. History does not lie. Our kinds are incompatible. Never forget that Elbaf is D. Loki, this news will lead to great unrest in the kingdom. I'm going out to see Gramps. I'll take all the surviving guards with me. And what of Harold's wishes? Tell the people of Elbaf exactly what happened here? You know I can't tell them. Listen closely. Don't speak a word of what happened here to anyone. Do you understand who they'll blame for it? How is that any different than usual? Do you really see a future where I become king and carry on my old man's ideals? But there are other ways I can live up to him. I'll take the powers I have and go avenge my dad and his soldiers. Now you're speaking nonsense, Loki. The world government is a colossal organization. It's a task far beyond anything you can imagine. A disaster, terrible misfortune at Russ Castle has been attacked, Your Majesty, so I sailed right off the island. I'm sure by the time you return home, I'd been fully transformed to the Loki the Father Slayer in the public's eyes. I certainly did enough to convince them I was capable of it. However, I'm not so far gone that I celebrate the killing of my own dad. I didn't want everything he did to be undone because of what happened in the end. Or do you still think I should have told the country everything? It's all true, Hadron. Do you get it now? I didn't want to have to dredge this all back up. I understand now why Chief Ja Rule argued for your clemency and continued to protect you. In short, Father chose death over the manipulation of the world government. And ever since then, the government has been Elbaf's enemy. How did they manipulate him like that? As a matter of fact, these newly arrived Holy Knights of God play a pivotal role in Harold's story. But Loki still doesn't know exactly what happened to Harold in the Holy Land. If you need more details, I could explain. That won't be necessary for now, Mr. Ya. I don't need a reason to protect my homeland. If we see eye to eye about anything, Loki, it's love for our father. Allow me to apologize for that, if nothing else. Oh, he's unchaining him. Now fight with me for Elbaf's sake. Okay. Way to go, Loki. Now you can fight. That's it. That's what's raging above. There's a whole bunch of them. Where did it come from? Is that a dragon? But those aren't real. Sounds like the perfect warm-up. You go on ahead. I could fly up. What is that thing? What's going on up there? Make it snappy, Hunter. Hey, Loki. We used to think that you were a real bastard who killed his father. Sorry about that. But only for this one thing. All of your many other crimes still count. Just shut up and go. No one asked you to say all this. Bro, this is amazing. I can move again. I'm free. Bro, he's been locked up for like that whole amount of time. That's actually crazy. Like, I can't imagine just being locked up and chained up like that fucking long. Bro, like that. Like prison cells and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that makes more sense, but just chained up like that? Ugh, I don't know. It seems bothering. That many years, I guess. Hey, ship doctor, I appreciate your help here, but I'm concerned about my son. Oh, right, sure. Nice and gentle, Sanji. Yeah, and I know you weren't going to stay here. What are you doing up there? I'm going to see how you fight. Alright, then show off your power, Ragnar. Excuse me. Shit, that's like... Okay, so... If I correct, Heim is kind of like... I could be wrong, but I think think frozen, like, because I think in Norse mythology, hell is more of like a frozen kind of thing. Like everything is like it's like a frozen hellscape, and that could be what the hammer is capable of doing. Oh, that's it. That's the end of the chapter. Fuck. Okay. Oh, did he have that crack? He already had that crack. Okay. So, thoughts, predictions. I don't know too much. I'm more interested in what Emu means by Elbaf is D. Like maybe the capabilities or the weapons or like the power that's inside Elbaf. Because I know I've been hearing some, speculations from the fandom that like in Elbaf we're gonna learn a bit more of like advanced Conqueror's Hockey and the capabilities of it. But I'm not too sure if that's. It seems like that might be the case with whatever the hell Loki's capable of doing and the way he was able to defeat Harold just like that. Even it was enough to shock even Emu in the Five Elders during that time. And even then, currently, it seems to be like a point of contention. It's just like, yeah, Elbaf is like an enemy because of this, and they can't go too far into Elbaf just because of the whole. Well, they don't have a lot of foot soldiers and grounds to set up for Emu to take control and whatnot. But as for predictions as to whether or not Loki is going to join the Straw Hats, I'm not too sure. I would like him to join the Straw Hats. I think that would be a cool thing to do. But is he fit enough? I say he's fit enough. But one thing that someone pointed out, that Luffy, everyone has joined the Straw Hats. Luffy doesn't know their whole backstory. Like, none of them. Actually, is that even true? I think he listened to Brook's backstory. Because every time they try to explain their backstory to Luffy, Luffy just does not care at all. He never participated in listening of their backstory. We see this with Sanji, Zoro, Nami specifically. We see this a big point for Nami. Luffy doesn't really care about your past. He wants you to join regardless. I think he listened to Brook's backstory, but still, is he going to become a Straw Hat member? I want to say yes. I think he's going to play I think he's going to become a Straw Hat member. Maybe. Or maybe not. I feel like it's going to be kind of like the same case as VD and maybe Yamato, where they're more honorary members and they're going to play a pivotal role in the final war in One Piece. But even then, yeah. I think this chapter was only like 17 pages long. Oh, a lot bigger than other ones, I suppose. But still, I actually really enjoyed this chapter. We got a bit more of the backstory and the end of it seems to be the end to the flashback, because Loki has been telling the story for fucking forever now. But still, I still like this chapter. Enjoyable. I'm not really giving too much predictions because I don't know what else to say. Well, on to the next though. Onto the docket, and we have, ladies and gentlemen, we have Chainsaw Man chapter 225 and 226, as I did not read chapter 225 actually, and I feel like might as well save the chapter for when I start streaming. And I figured this could be good. I could do this because Fujimoto is like super notorious for making his chapters very short. And I do remember this. The chapter before 225, Denji ate the leg devil, which is kind of funny. I didn't even know the leg devil. It's like a funny thing. But yeah, this chapter is called Barf Motorcycle Hell by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Okay, let's read this. Creatures ought to have been able to move more smoothly. Denji must have eaten the devil. Yeah, there you go. Being able to see that. I think, oh, this is kind of funny because you see this here. I think like right here, the people, like it seems like they're casually having a conversation. Like they're just continuing on with their day because like, right, Denji just ate the leg devil or something. So that way none of them have ever even thought that the legs existed at that point, I guess. Denji, stop eating. Safe for... Okay. Actually don't know what happened here. Like, safe for now. Right. It's not like every erased concept. Is this hell? It's not like every erased concept would be something important to this world. I'll be damned if I let him screw up my world any further. Hand honk motorcycle. So he's eating another devil. I don't know what this devil is actually. Oh, but he threw it up regardless. And she fucking kicked him right here. Hoyo boyo. Oh, I think the teeth. I think he had like the teeth in here. He probably accidentally ate teeth. If I turn you into a weapon, I think that's what she's trying to say. The world will totally F up. I don't know what that means. Will be totally F up, I think. So, I don't know. Damn you. I think that's supposed to say damn you. What is this actually? Let's say damn you. Ha. Oh, she made him throw up a bunch of stuff. Teeth and legs. And then she fucking kicks her. What did you do with the devils you strapped to your body? They weren't in my barf. Oh, they're still there. Okay. Bang. He ran again. Fight, coward, fight me. You can't mess up my world without eating devils, remember? Look, I have a pawn right here. Now fight me. Those pawns couldn't fill me up. What? I'm gonna go to hell and gobble up some real devils. Then you just said, nah. I'm gonna go to hell and gobble some real devils. Wait, Denji, you fool. Okay, so they're in hell. I did see this. I was spoiled with this, and yeah, they're in hell. Yeah. So we're gonna need the next one. Chainsaw Man Chapter 226, Locust Home. Where are all the devils? Now this is actually interesting, right? Because this is like an ocean, like it's in the middle of some body of water. And every time we see hell, it's not like this fiery hellscape or something. It seems to be like this actual plane of existence that you can live in, that you can live off. And we have buildings here and everything. It's strange. And there's like a lot of doors to it for hell. And I don't know, we don't have a lot of information on what hell really is. He blocked it, but it doesn't seem as strong now. Bang, bang, bang. I think maybe Tenji's just too strong for it now. There. Hey, come up already. Let me see you or look at the feet. If I couldn't swim, I'd be screwed right now. Time out for a second. Upsy daisy. What is Denji's facial expression here, actually? How'd you like it, This is my perfect plan. Surrender. Oh, yeah. He just tried to play it off like it's plan or something. I did see this panel, actually. Where it's Asa, when I guess Yor releases Asa for a bit. It says, Denji, save me, Denji. Denji's like, cheater. So the door to hell seems to open, or a door at least. It kicks open. And this is the Locust Devil, from what we know. And he's very strong from what we can see. And... oh, fuck. He just cut off Denji's arm? To be continued. Fuck, are we getting a chapter this week? He seems to speed blitz Denji right here. And kind of just... was able to cut off his arm. Now, what does this mean, though? I did see some theories about what this is. This is the Locust Devil, from my understanding. And I'm not too sure in the setting as to say, like, oh, what is this setting really is. Because I hear people saying it's like a primordial devil. But I don't even know if that's the case. This thing is like it's like a biblical scare, right? Probably, like, people probably fear locusts due to like the story within the Bible. But it seems to be like due to like the biblical stories within the locust, like like the story of Moses, right? We seem to have, there's probably like this innate fear of locusts, especially the way they come in swarms. Like, it's pretty, like, it's a scary sight if anybody's ever seen something like that. Like, it's pretty fucking scary. But still a fascinating thing, I would say. But it seems to be really strong, which is why I'm saying it's like a primordial devil. Here's the thing too, I guess we have to power scale Denji a bit, and I don't like the power scale, but I guess we might have to do it just a tad bit compared to Pochita, right? Because Denji by himself, is he as, like, in this form that he is, he's getting the best of both worlds. So he's in control and he has the capabilities of Pochita. But is he as strong as Pochita in this case? Is he capable to do the amount of damage that he's able to do that Pochita can do? I don't know, and I'm inclined to say I don't think so. But still, I do believe Denji is very powerful. I still believe that Denji is a very powerful character in this state, and it's not someone that we should it's not really someone that's to be fuck around with, essentially. We're gonna move on to the next one, I guess. I did get spoiled indeed for this new chapter on a certain aspect, but I digress. We shall see. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 18. Yuta Kotsu's ring, a cursed tool registered to the Gojo's family warehouse, still contains his immense cursed energy, as well as the will of Rika, who remains subordinate to him. So that is actually very interesting that we find out that the ring still contains almost a shit ton of Yuta's cursed energy. Like, it's just reserved, because I do know Rika, it's the object itself too, was acted as a reserve because it was cursed, so it acted as a reserve for Yuta's cursed energy. And based on my understanding too, the way it was able to copy other cursed things is like, it takes the cursed energy and it reserves the energy inside of it too, allowing for the copy to occur. I think that's how the technique works, but I could be wrong on that. But I digress. Let's continue forward. It's not moving. Okay. Ooh. Hey, Rika's just going ham on this. This is so fun. It's like being on a roller coaster. I said stop talking, but I hate amusement parks, so too many screaming brats. Why does he look like that? Who's that other personality talking? What's the source of this power? It must be that ring. He said it was a memento from his grandfather. This amount of cursed energy isn't something that could be contained within a single person. Someone with unfathomable power must have poured cursed energy into the ring over the course of years, decades even. That's actually very scary to imagine. It's like fucking nuclear bombs just all stored into one singular point of power, and is able to output that on command. Oh, is that just from a strike of his fist? Or that's just him? Okay, that's just Modulo. It didn't work. It's just Tsurugi using his brute strength and the power of the ring to force his way through. Like my cursed technique doesn't even matter. I'm sorry, Modulo, but I'm gonna win no matter what it takes. You don't have to apologize, because I feel the same way. Ooh. His demeanor has changed. Oh, here we go. Here's what everyone's been talking about. Already 22 pages for this? Nice. His demeanor has changed. Oh, big Raga. Big fucking daddy Raga right there. And boom, just breaks that shit. Ooh. He's there. Ooh, he's trying to stop big Raga. And nope. His technique's not working at all. He gets sliced. He's rendered my curse technique completely ineffective. So that's his ability. He devoured my curse technique to adapt to it. Ooh. And now that the wheel has stopped spinning, it's adapt. Oh my god! Is it adapted? I can't even say it. It's a complete. Oh, he's just completely shocked right now. This is amazing to see. So then, do I not have any other way to fight back? Am I going to lose? Shouldn't you try to be friendlier with the Tsukunte? Am I unpleasant to be around, Nura? Huh? That's not what I meant. I meant I appreciate it. No offense, but you're the only one who's a worthy opponent. But it must be hard to be isolated even among your own people, especially considering your sister's position. The Tsukunte warriors are very proud. If I stand among them, it would only create tension. This is incredible, Nura. I think I might lose. I'm in pain, and I'm afraid. Oh. Hold on. I'm sorry, but like this dude who's hyped up to be like Sukuna's, like the equivalent to Sukuna himself.
This nigga's legendary? Based on what?
Says who?
What has he done?
Says
How
who?
long has he been in the game? Why don't he?
Off-screen a motherfucker that we don't care about. All right. This motherfucker ain't Blackbeard. He's not Blackbeard. He don't got that off-screen capabilities. All right. Pulled up on Earth thinking he was hot shit. Cut off someone's arm thinking he was hot shit. Nonchalantly war farming thinking he's hot shit. Face is one of the top of the verse. Now he's not. Now he's in pain and afraid. What a fucking joke. What a fucking clown this is. This guy's fucking pathetic. Oh, the slander that's going to occur from this. I mean, it's already has been occurring, but still, the slander. I could taste it. It's like the recipe for perfect slander. Oh, one-on-one with Sugita. Remember when Sugita fought Maharaga the first time? He wasn't like, I'm in pain or I'm afraid. He learned. This guy learned too late of what Maharaga was able to do. Now it's going to cost him the fucking fight from what it seems like. Let's continue now. Let's continue now. I barely have to try at all and I can beat them. Oh my gosh. But people are jealous of me or won't accept me for who I am. It makes my heart ache with this throbbing pain. I'm a warrior and I'm strong, but I don't want to fight. You got it all wrong. It's not that you don't want to fight. It's that you've never been in a real one before. You're so strong, you never really become a warrior. I don't understand. Words can only express so much, but someday somebody so strong will appear that you'll think you're gonna lose, and then you'll understand. Oh, I see. Fighting because you want to, and not fighting because you don't want to. Neither of those were actually fighting. Will you protect the Himalayans for me? I know you're capable of it, Nabura. But fighting because you have to. That's a true fight, and someone who is capable of that is a warrior. Hey. I'm sorry, but I'll fight for real now. Naburu's curse techniques are dark and light. However, Duro's physical body could not withstand the acceleration of light, so he was never able to move with the speed of light himself. If my curse techniques are ineffective against him, then there's only one thing left to do. Beat him with my bare hands, and I'll put my body's strength and speed to their absolute limit. Dura, I'll become a warrior. Beyond the limits of mankind, Naburu's rips across the battlefield at sub-speed light. I don't like it at all because in the way, try to come off as like the number one person here or whatever. But agendas aside, right? I will say this is pretty interesting writing and it's cool because Gege, if I'm correct, Gege is still writing the story, right? He's just not drawing it if I'm correct. It should tell us like at the beginning. Yeah, story by Gege Akatumi and art by Yuji Kawashigaki. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Putting agendas aside, right? This is an interesting depiction of what Gege has been doing in JJK, the original series, right? Which is the depiction of the strongest being isolated from everyone else. We see this mainly with Sukuna and Gojo themselves, but their approach to it was quite unique and different, or at least their experience with it. For Gojo, we see an utter isolation from everyone around him and from his loved ones as well, because this is like because he's the strongest, right? The moment he was born, like the balance of the universe had to change and curses became stronger in order to balance things out. He became isolated, or he isolated himself, is that he couldn't really connect too much with people. We see this at times, like again, a good allegory for it might be his infinity curse technique, which allows him not to be touched by people or things. And we can kind of, I remember this one panel from during the Shinjuku fight. Yuji tried to like dap up Gojo, but Gojo and Yuji said like, yo, master, or I forgot what he said. He said, Gojo, your curse technique's in the way. Gojo turns it off and allows him to pretty much everyone to like give him a like dap up on his back and all that, right? The fact that Gojo has it on at all times is like a good representation of like Gojo's isolation. Like he's surrounded by people who care about him, people who respect him, right? Loved ones or whatever, right? Friends and loved ones, things like that. But he still feels alone, and that's something that's pretty interesting. He still feels alone because no one can compare, no one can understand him truly as a strong person. It takes someone on simple the same level of strength to actually truly understand him. And that's why he was so like buddy with Sukuna during their fight, because like, I mean, because they understand each other. They're both the strongest where they come from. They're both alone, right? Gojo sought ways to overcome this loneliness, probably through means of just helping out the next generation, trying to change the jutsu world for the better because of his trauma, his traumatic past and history in the jutsu society, and of his friends like Geto and all that stuff, right? And Rika, not Rika, I forgot her name, but let me see. We see this also with Sukuna, not in that sense of what he's trying to do for him to amend through the ways of his loneliness, but we see we see the way, so he's also lonely as well, right? He has no one to reminisce about. The only person is Horame, his assistant, right? And he views the way he overcomes this loneliness or just him being alone is through means of hedonism, right? He tends to live a very hedonistic life, eating whatever he wants, doing whatever he wants, because he's the strongest, and that's what it is. And to him, that's what it means to be the strongest. He's not right or wrong in his own eyes, but he's just simply is. He is just a natural calamity and that's all it is. It isn't until he's defeated by Yuji Itadori in the end of the JJK is when he decides that maybe if he had a chance to live on a different life, then maybe he'll choose a different way. And I think we're seeing this something similar depiction of loneliness to do it right here, right? If we go back towards here, right? I barely have to try. Am I unpleasant to be around, right? So immediately he thinks of himself to be unpleasant compared to what Dora said. Like, no, that's not what I meant. I appreciate it, but you're the only one who's then here. But it must be hard to be isolated even among your own people, especially considering your sister's position. Discontented warriors are very proud, and if I stand among them, it would only create tension. Like, I barely have to try at all, and I can beat them. Even when people are jealous of me or won't accept me for who I am, it makes my heart ache with this dropping pain. I'm a warrior, and I am strong, but I don't want to fight. Right? So to him, he's isolated from everybody else because he's too strong. He doesn't want to fight, or at least he doesn't think he wants to, right? So he continues to live on, even when we first introduced him. Like, he's not this heartless, strong warrior person. He seems pretty sad, pretty depressed, and like, I don't want to say nonchalant, but he seems very, not even stoic, but he seems like just uninterested in things because there's nothing's there to I suppose like bring him meaning, right? He's always isolated. So maybe through this part, he's going to find more meaning within his own life by pushing his body to protect his people, to become an actual warrior, because he never had to have fight before until this point. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing with the next chapter of JJK. But still, by all means, anyone has any comments, by all means, for this segment, like, leave it in the comment section below. But yeah, it's so peak. Reading good this week. This comic contains spoiler. Okay, yeah. Can I click? Maharaga is about to lose to god tier characters to great height, but I honestly think the bro shouldn't be able to win given his lack of experience in real fighting where both you and your opponent adapts and strategizes. I know he said he'll beat Raga with his bare hands. It's probably more of a figure of speech because he's too literal about it. Then Raga is going to adapt to that as well. It all comes down to how his Rika power-up moments are executed. This chapter is a decent build-up, so hopefully with more build-up and good execution, it'll become more satisfying for him to beat Maharaga. Interesting that the bro hasn't actually mastered the light aspect of his curse technique, because his body can't actually handle light speed. And even now, he's cutting loose. He's only going sub-light speed. Also, can't help but notice that his awakening slash conclusion of what it means to truly fight is kind of the antithesis to both Sukuna and Gojo's philosophies. Those two were all about fighting because they wanted to, as opposed to fighting because they had to. But Doburo could only cut loose when he actually had to fight as a warrior because it was never enough to merely want to fight. That is interesting. That is a very fascinating interpretation of this chapter, and I agree with that. Yes, those two were all about fighting because they wanted to, as opposed to fighting because they had to. They were about that life. They wanted to throw hands. They loved to throw hands. Gojo loved to throw hands. He wasn't growing up sad because he was the strongest. He was growing up happy because he had friends, but he was also just loved fighting and putting belt to ass. Sukuna loved fighting because to him, he was a very strategist when it comes to fighting, and I think Sukuna really just liked that challenge of kind of viewing curse techniques and viewing other abilities and coming up with conclusions and just aspects, or coming up with thoughts about them, right? He loves to coming up with ways to fight them, and here we're seeing Dabura has to cut loose because he has to. It's a fascinating way to write another one of these characters, and I want to see more of Yuji's character because now he's currently the strongest sorcerer, or the human sorcerer. So I think kind of seeing him is probably it would be kind of see what Gege has coming up for him, like how Yuji approaches to this act of loneliness of being the strongest. I would never imagine such incredible fights of such magnitude and so well planned thematically to be happening simultaneously in a story and being this epic of a read. I really can't decide which fight I want to see more. Usually in another series I'll have a favorite, but here they are both equally good. I do wonder if the word that is censored out of Dabura's ability will come to play later into the fight. It was quite the plot twist to find out Dabura has never truly fought before, and now that he has motivation to protect his people, he's actually going to put effort into it. I must say the art is insanely incredible. It really delivers the impact of storytelling. He'll do so much damage to himself and to his opponent. Oh, Maharaga legitimately saying it is my time now. So cool, but I do think Dabura is not at Sukuna's level. Maybe he could have been if he had stronger enemies on his planet. That is another thing too. I do wonder if Gege is going to make Dabura lose because technically Dabura has no real fighting experience at all. He's probably trained, right, to do hand-to-hand combat. But Gojo and Sukuna, their fighting skills and their techniques were to develop through through just pure onslaught, right? Sukuna's technique is super simple. Cut, slash, cleave, and fire, right? Very, very simple technique, and he became one of the most dangerous sorcerers to ever fucking live. Gojo's technique itself is extremely powerful, but he didn't become as OP as he was until after until he was able to learn reverse curse technique. And he didn't learn reverse curse technique until he was on the brink of death. So right now it seems like Dabura himself is going to be put on this brink, and he's going to have to level up, or he's going to just Zenkai boost himself to develop a newer or better version of the ability, or to help him fully develop his curse technique. But still, yeah, I feel like Dabura feeling fear could be a meme. Yeah, the panel at the end looks like those 120 panels. It's so cool to Maharaga adapt. I was surprised that he is winning. I feel like Maharaga is just a plot device meant to be being. That's an interesting thing too, to see Maharaga as a plot device to be being. By the way, guys, this might be nerdy shit to share, but I like to listen to music while reading my manga, and during this chapter where Dabura and Raga fought, Interstellar OST Hans Zimmer TikTok was playing at the 6-minute mark, and it was amazing. If you read the part and play that song on the 6-minute mark, you're going to love it, with Dabura's emotions on display with this song. It made the chapter so much better to me. I knew it. Dabura wasn't like Gojo and Sukuna. I'm afraid Gojo and Sukuna would never. I am team humankind, so I couldn't care less about Dabura to me. He was just a bully who's getting bullied now. I don't know how Dabura is going to beat Raga with his bare hands, but I guess he will start moving with the speed of light. And the fact that he broke Raga's sword of extermination by just catching it, Dabura's strength must have multiplied by 1,000, so Raga might be in some shit. I see trouble for Raga now, so maybe we might get Yuji soon. Also at this moral curse technique is crazy. He's pretty much the Avatar. First gravity, then he was manipulating water, now earth. Whole tree and plant screwing in a matter of seconds. Kind of crazy. Remember, curse technique would be amazing for the earth. Actually, did he actually break it? Did I just not fucking notice? Did I not catch that at all? I'm assuming it was right here. Oh, he did shatter it. I didn't even fucking catch that. What the hell? Ooh. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, that's gonna be enough for this segment. Moving on to the next segment,